guys, welcome back to another episode of Storytale Cakes. I'm going to be showing you how to make this delicious, moist, rich mud cake, and I'll show you how to make the chocolate drips and Nutella buttercream to go with it too. So for the dry ingredients, we'll be needing a third cup of cocoa, 1 cup of plain flour, 1 cup of caster sugar, a pinch of salt, about 1/4 teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda. And for the wet ingredients, we'll be needing 2 eggs, 100 ml of oil, 1/4 cup of boiling water, and 160 ml of milk, and just a dash of vanilla essence. So you want to start off by adding in all the dry ingredients. Make sure everything is sifted, even the baking soda and powder. You mix them for about 30 seconds on low speed until everything's nice and incorporated, and then we're going to move on to our wet ingredients. You can add all the wet ingredients in any order, just the boiling water should be added last to help bloom the cocoa and smooth the mixture. Also make sure to not over mix it, you want to mix it for about 1 to 2 minutes max to get a nice and fluffy texture. So this is the consistency you're after. It's time to pour our delicious batter into a pre-lined 7-inch tin, and then we're going to give it a bit of a tap to burst any bubbles. Bake for 170 degrees Celsius to 1 to 1.5 hours. We're now going to be making some yummy delicious Nutella buttercream to coat the cakes. I'm going to be using 300 grams of Nutella, 2 cups of icing sugar, 220 grams of unsalted butter that's softened, and 6 to 8 tablespoons of whole milk. To make our super delicious and easy Nutella buttercream, add in your butter and Nutella, mix for about 30 seconds, and then add in your icing sugar. Add in about 6 to 8 tablespoons of milk. If you want a more thicker buttercream, I'd say add 5 to 6 tablespoons, and if you want a more softer buttercream, then add 8. So I added 8. I'm going to be using a 6-inch board to trim down the caramelized parts of the cake, and then we can begin frosting it. Add a bit of Nutella buttercream onto your cake plate to help secure it in place, and then generously frost each layer. Make sure to press your cake down to remove any excess, and then also put a cake board on top and carve away any excess cake pieces. Use your scraper to help smooth out all the buttercream, and I find a really handy tip to get a nice flat surface is using your spatula and pulling the frosting towards the center. Once this is done, pop it in the fridge for about 20 minutes. So now for the fun part, we're going to decorate this cake. I'm going to use some crushed peanuts to put on the bottom of the cake, decorate the top part with some delicious chocolate, and I'll show you how to make a drip to go on the cake. A really great way to not spill any of the nuts onto the table is using a tray, so in that way you can just kind of pour it back into the bag. Melt some chocolate to secure the cake onto a bigger cake plate. To make our chocolate drips on the cake, we will need 150 grams of milk chocolate to 75 ml of thickened cream. We're just going to microwave it together so it's nice and melted. Look at that delicious chocolate goodness, so shiny and rich. I'm just going to pop it into a piping bag, and then I'm just snipping off the tip of the piping bag and putting the drips on the side of the cake. Once you're done with your chocolate drips, just use all the excess chocolate to put on top of the cake and a spatula to help spread it. Because our drips are still nice and wet, it's perfect to add in our chocolate goodness. So I'm just putting away all the delicious chocolate goodness, some Twix, some donuts, macarons, chocolate, Toblerone, Pocky, oh my gosh, chocolate overload. Delicious. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this choco overload cake. I had so much fun making it. If you do happen to make it, please share it with me on Facebook or Instagram, #Storytalecakes. I'd love to see it. Please subscribe, and I'll see you soon.